Hey everybody, just want to do a quick intro video for our course this semester and kind of introduce myself and let you know who you're dealing with, what your professor is during this course. Of course, this is for Geology 110, I think, Environmental Geology, and my name is Jay Nelson. I'll be your professor this semester. And just a little bit about me, I'm from Glasgow, Kentucky, so pretty close to the Sky campus. I peeked at the roster and I think many of us are from the South Central Kentucky campus in Bowling Green. If you're not, Glasgow is down near Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I went to Glasgow High School, got my undergraduate degree from the University of Kentucky in environmental science, got my master's degree from Western Kentucky University, also in environmental science, with an emphasis in karst studies, which you're going to learn a lot about this semester, probably more than you would like to learn. I do work closely with Mammoth Cave National Park currently. I worked there when I was actually in both undergrad and graduate school as a park ranger. That was a pretty fulfilling and fun summer job for me, and that's how I paid my way through school on top of the other funding, the scholarships that I have. Currently, I'm an adjunct professor, which means this is a part-time job for me. I do this on the side. My whole career, I've been with Kentucky State Government. I have worked as an environmental scientist, mostly in the area of water quality issues, especially with farming operations. Just last year, I took a new position. I'm a division director now. They asked me to take over the directorship for the Kentucky Division of Conservation, which is under the Department for Natural Resources. So I'm doing that. That's why my background here, you're going to see different backgrounds in the lecture videos versus a couple of these updated ones, is because I'm actually stowing it in my apartment up here in Frankfort right now. I stayed this weekend because of the snowstorm, but Monday through Thursday or Friday I work in Frankfort as a division director. I still have my residence down near Bowling Green, just across the county line in Allen County near Barren River Reservoir. You'll see a background of both places, so don't let that confuse you or bother you. So because I do have a full-time career job, my timing that I have to spend on this is not necessarily during business hours. So you'll notice that my office hours are during the evenings. So I will make every attempt to check my emails every night during my office hours. There will be times that I won't be able to. Sometimes I'm out of state, sometimes in DC, other places in the United States on business, and I might not be able to check during those weeks. If that's the case, the way I kind of conduct business in these courses, I know this is an elective. I try not to make this course so difficult that it's very hard to pass it. I want you to get a good understanding of the subject matter. We'll basically have an assignment due every week, typically on Sunday nights. But in the syllabus, if you're going to, I know people have things that happen in life. We all do. I understand that. And there are 2 excused absences as far as submitting late your assignments. Not that you don't have to do them. You can just, if you let me know beforehand, not after, beforehand, I'll work with you and you can submit them 2 assignments or 2 weeks worth of assignments late. So it's key that you communicate with me. If for any reason that I'm not able to check my emails during a particular week, and say it's a Wednesday night, you email me and you're going to be late on your assignment for that weekend, and I don't respond to you, that's on me. So don't panic. Don't freak out if I don't respond to you. As long as I see that you sent that email beforehand, we'll be good, and I'll work with you, and we'll get that straightened out. So as far as I kind of just told you the outline. Most of our assignments will be homework assignments. We will have a few quizzes. I think all modules except one have a quiz. The quizzes are not very time consuming. And then we'll have a test after each module. And of course we'll have a final exam as well. The majority of the grade in this course is based on test and the final. Although the homework assignments can really hurt you if you don't do them as far as your overall grade. So it's important, especially in this course, to keep up with your assignments. If any of you have had me in a previous course, I also teach some geography courses. This subject matter is a little bit, in my mind, more difficult than those courses. It's a little bit more technical in nature, more scientific. So it's a little bit more intense material. So it would be tough if you feel very far behind. I will tell you in the beginning of the semester, and I chose the beginning because usually late in the semester people are really busy with projects, finals, and all that stuff. Because of the number of chapters that we have to cover, a couple of weeks we're doubled up as far as you're going to have 2 chapters to be responsible for. It's only one assignment, but it's 2 chapters worth of material. I think maybe the second and third weeks of the semester. So keep that in mind. After that, it won't be like that anymore. It'll be 1 chapter per assignment, per lesson. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to be like that the entire semester. So don't freak out thinking we're going to have to do that the whole time. With regards to the subject matter that we're going to talk about in this course, again, this is environmental geology. Geology meaning the study of the earth and its materials, basically. A lot of people think geology and rocks, and that's mostly true, but there are a lot of other things than just rocks. There's soils, there's minerals, there's the atmosphere. Everything is involved in the geologic processes that we're going to study this semester. And we're going to kind of take 2 different angles on this as we go through the semester. The first probably couple of modules is going to be more on just earth processes, things that you need to know about to kind of understand what we're even talking about when we get into the environmental side of it. So we're going to study basic processes like volcanoes and earthquakes and plate tectonics and things like that. So you're going to see very quickly, I do recycle my lecture videos, so a few of those will be from last semester, 2 or 3 semesters ago. I try to update them every now and then, not on a semester or even an annual basis sometimes, unless something changes within that lesson. So when we talk about these things, first of all, geology is a very wide scoping discipline. And like anybody else, scientists or people in my field, we get very comfortable and very knowledgeable about the things that we work with and we study on a daily basis. Some other things we don't. And I'm going to give you an example. When we talk about volcanoes and even earthquakes, I studied that when I was in school. That's been years and years ago. And I will freely admit I'm not an expert on those things right now. I know enough. I know more than the average person does, obviously, and I can teach you about the basics of it, but I'm not a volcanist. I'm not a person that specializes in those things. So you'll probably see me mirror the textbook a little bit more on those types of topics. But when we can get into topics that I do work with on a more daily basis, you're going to see me get into a little bit more detail on those things. And that's fitting because everybody probably in here lives in Kentucky. And I will be talking about processes and things that happen in our state that I work with on a daily basis. Like I said, I'm a division director, so I work across the entire state. My employees span from the very northeast corner to the Fulton County in the southwest corner. So we cover the entire state. So we'll be talking about a lot of the things and processes and natural events that happen in Kentucky and how we affect those things. So there's 2 sides to this. One is going to be how the geology of this planet affects us as humans. And then we're going to turn around and study how we as humans affect those geologic processes. So it's 2-sided. And it's very important that we look at it that way because there are some things that happen geologically that we have no control over, obviously, and they're going to happen regardless if we're here or not. Nature doesn't care about us. It's going to happen and we're going to be affected. On the other hand, there are a lot of things that we do as humans that significantly affect this planet and the environment and even the geology of this planet. And we're going to talk about all those things. We're going to talk about climate change. Even though you think, well, geology, that's not really climate. Well, it's an environmental geology course, and even though it's geology, the atmosphere is part of our environment. So we will talk about, and a big role in climate change are fossil fuels, which is entirely geology. So we're going to be talking about those things. I'll make a note on that. I know in today's world it's heavily political. We hear all kinds of stuff in the media about this and that. It's really ridiculous. Politicians should never talk about science things unless they're scientists themselves. They know nothing about it, and they quite often show that. Um, Even when I am in legislative meetings up here in Frankfurt, I see that all the time. Um, we're going to talk about science in this class. There's not going to be debates or political debates or anything like that. I often find it kind of amusing when I hear people, and I haven't had really any students. I had one student that was kind of on the fence, saying, "Well, I don't believe in climate change." Well, the good thing about science is the science doesn't care if you believe in climate change or not. It's a scientific fact. It's not Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. It makes no difference if somebody believes in it or not. We're going to study what it is, why scientists agree that it is a process that is happening, and there is no doubt that this is occurring, and what our role in it is, and potential solutions to that. And there are no good solutions. Um, Everything's going to cost money. Everything's expensive. Even what we do now is expensive if you think about it. We're kind of used to internal combustion engines and driving cars and all that, and the industry that we have, and we're used to that. So that makes it logical because that's what we've always done, and that's what people are used to. But if you had a clean slate, if your brain was wiped clean and you knew nothing about anything, and somebody explained to you the process about actually having to go and drill or dig down thousands and thousands of feet into the earth to pull something out, then ship it or pipe it or whatever to get a location. And then when it gets to that location, you have to process it and change it. And then it has to go through other steps before it's ready for consumption. And then it has to go to gas stations or it has to go to a power plant. That whole process is very expensive and it's very cumbersome, when there are alternatives out there that are easier. They're just new, and because of that, they're expensive right now. They wouldn't be as expensive in the future, just like we don't think fossil fuels are too expensive right now, but really they are. And they're less expensive now because we've we've got that infrastructure in place. So what I want you to get out of this, and the reason I kind of went in that example right there, is I want you to get a baseline of being able to think about this on your own and to seek out and find good information. I'm not going to tell you anything about anything political or anything like that, but if you want a question answered, for me it's very important that you leave this course knowing how to find an answer to some of these questions and not just listening to what somebody says on a podcast or whatever, wherever people get their information now. So that's kind of what this course is going to be built on. We are going, again, we're going to have, I think there are 5 modules. Most assignments are going to be due on Sunday nights. Now, I operate on Central Time in the Bowling Green area, so 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So if you're a student in another location in Kentucky, one of the other KCTCS campuses, make note of that, that we are on Central Time in Bowling Green. And sometimes we might have an assignment due a different night of the week, say after spring break. We're not going to have one during spring break or a holiday or something like that. But I'll send announcements out almost every week to let you know and kind of remind you that. But be sure to read your syllabus and look at those due dates and keep up with that. One other thing I'd like to ask for you to do early. This class is going to open tomorrow, January the 6th. Of course, the first day of the semester is the next Monday, January 13th. But be sure to get in there and look at your textbook and make sure you can access Connect before next Monday. And if you cannot, if there's a problem, let me know. Because last semester, Connect has been great for me. I've been teaching about 3 years now. Connect's always worked great. Last semester, we had a hiccup. and something happened that the paywall was not taken down and students couldn't get in. I don't know that because I go in a different way than you do. I didn't know that until students started emailing me saying, hey, we can't get in here, something's wrong. And sometimes the student has an issue, but after I got 3 or 4 or 5 of these, then yeah, it looks like it's an issue across the board. So if there are problems, there are instructional videos in the Student Start Here section in your Blackboard. Go in there, look at that stuff. If you've already done Connect before, it should be pretty easy. If you have not, there will be videos to walk you through every step of the way. If you cannot get in there, all of our assignments and everything, even though you're going to see them in Blackboard, they're going to be linked to Connect. So if you cannot get into Connect now, you're going to have issues. So you need to make sure you can get in there. If you all can't get in there, please let me know as soon as possible, even this week before the semester starts, because if there's an issue, I want to get on that as quickly as I can to get that resolved so we don't fall very far behind. So I think that's about it. The other thing I want to mention, just be sure to communicate with me. Again, going back to the very first statement I made, if you're going to be late, if you're having issues, if you need help with something, reach out and let me know. It's easy on these online courses to kind of stay in your lane and not get out of the box, and you need to let me know so I can help you, because since we're not in person and I can't see your face and I can't see that you're getting this stuff, if you fall behind, it's a lot of information to learn and take in a very short period of time. So let me know and I'll help you in any way I can. One other thing that I want to point out in the syllabus, it tells you need to download Google Earth on your device. That is preferably on your computer, laptop, whatever you have, your primary device. They have it for a phone. The phone version does not have all the tools on it that the PC does. So it's better to do it on your PC. We're not going to use it a whole lot in this course like I do in my geography courses, but it's good to have. And there's one, I do have some discussions in each module for us to kind of just talk about and communicate on. I will have 1 or 2 of those that you have to look in Google Earth, and it's good because we can look at real world examples. I can shoot you a coordinate and you can zoom in and see something that's going on right on the ground and pretty recent imagery, satellite imagery. So I think that's about it for the intro video. Again, communicate, let me know what you need, and if you don't mind, once you get in your textbook, if you'd shoot me an email just saying, hey, I'm good, or no, I'm not, that way I'll have a feeling about if everybody's good, or if I just get one email from one person, I really don't know if it's that person having an issue or if it's everybody. So if you can, shoot me an email and say, hey, we're good, we got in, or no, we can't. So thank you, and keep in touch, and I look forward to the semester, and just let me know what you need. Thanks.